Hey everybody, and welcome to Twin Talk, a video discussion show where twin brothers Chris and Kevin drink and draw. We're talking about comic books, movies, and all things pop culture. We're your hosts, Chris Hart,
Kevin Hart.
and today we are taking a look back at Jurassic World. Jurassic World is a 2015 film directed by Colin Trevorrow, starring Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Vincent D'Onofrio. The fourth installment in the Jurassic franchise. This is the start of a new trilogy. We see, obviously, Dominion's coming out this weekend. We got our tickets. Can't wait to see that and review that. I remember being really, really excited for this movie. The trailers got me hyped. Seeing the Jurassic Park franchise coming back to the theater after so many years. I was so excited to go see this. And this movie, to me, delivered.
It's basically the same as the first movie, except if it went wrong when the park was fully functional. If a dinosaur got loose. So it was really cool to see. Like, to me, that's like the entertainment value of this whole movie, is the fact that it's like going to Universal Studios,
Yes,
except with
definitely.
live dinosaurs. And I love the merchandising. The product placement is so in your face. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's the
Very heavy.
sponsorships, Verizon
Mercedes,
Wireless, Mercedes,
yeah.
Starbucks. Like, everything in this movie is just like, but that's how it would realistically
be,
be.
yeah.
People would be cashing in on this, intellectual property.
This movie is the park gone right. They're able to make it happen. But we see that it's inevitable that nature or life will find a way, like Ian Malcolm says. I love that it is like a fully functioning park, though. That's what I loved about the trailers leading up to this, was like, all right, cool, like they're getting thousands and thousands of people to go to this island to see all these crazy things. We see that awesome shot of like almost like the Shamu attraction at SeaWorld. We have a freaking mosasaurus coming up eating a great white shark. That's great. They got the splash zone and everything. Like,
Yeah, and then it goes down and you can see like the below
Underneath,
deck.
yeah.
That's really
Like,
cool stuff.
all the amusement attractions that they have in this movie, like you said, even the callbacks to the first movie, because this is definitely Colin Trevorrow's love letter to the original film.
Definitely.
But we see even in the T-Rex cage, we got the goat with the flare, nice little callbacks.
The Dennis Nedry reference of clean up your workstation.
Yeah.
We got these two comedians running the whole park.
Yeah, and Jake Johnson, who is, I think, most famous for his role as Peter B. Parker in
yeah.
Spider-Verse. He's in this movie as like the IT guy, the new Dennis Nedry, but not as much of a scumbag.
That clearly loved Jurassic Park.
You can tell this guy's a fan.
It clearly led to his like career choice in life.
Yeah.
That's how wowed he was by the first
He was like, that first park was legit. So he was like super hyped to work at it. He's got the dinosaur collectibles on his workstation. I think that this movie is a lot of fun. It feels a lot like you're going to the theme park with these characters and enjoying the thrill ride.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, we got the big superstars, Bryce Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt, as like the main faces of this franchise. All the characters in between is kind of just like, like, like the family. There's a whole divorce subplot and this brother and relationship going throughout the park of them bonding. The one kid I can't stand. He's like emo teenage kid. That's
The
just
older
like,
kid?
The older kid. Like, he leaves his girlfriend.
That's just trying to get some snatch the whole thing.
the second he leaves her, he's eyeing up tail.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's so typical though. Like I remember, like being a teenager, you go to the parks, you think every girl's looking at you, just like looking at them on like the lines.
you're flexing at the bicep, hitting you
Yeah,
like
and-
holding a rail, you have the biceps.
Yeah. Anytime they're looking at the guy behind you. But yeah, like this movie, the characters aren't as compelling as that original movie. That original movie is so perfect. I can't stress that
So
enough.
well written.
But the characters in this, they're serviceable. It does get like archetypey, where everybody's like, all right, this is that person, this is that person.
Yeah.
They fit their roles in the Jurassic World like franchise. But I'm okay with that because what I came here to see was the park running and operating. And I love that aspect of the movie.
Yes.
And I love that they come up with a new dinosaur in this film, the Indominus Rex, which I believe this thing is horrifying.
Just going back to what you said real quick, with like the archetypes. Bryce Dallas Howard is the ginger Edna Mode. Chris Pratt is like, Indiana Jones on crack. The guy's just like smoking cigars with velociraptors.
Yeah.
This guy does it all. He builds cabins.
Everybody
he
says that
fixes
Chris Pratt-
motorcycles. He trains raptors. It's like, what can't he do in this franchise?
He's like the perfect man. Yeah. This is like infamous for being his tryout for Indiana Jones, which is so funny to me because like it really is like that type of character. Where it's just like doing all
Super
these crazy
macho,
action
yeah.
stunts, macho. Yeah.
But yeah, the Indominus Rex, I think it's cool. Like, they're focusing pretty heavily in this franchise on like the whole genetics thing. Like, that seems to be like
Making
the
new
seed,
dinosaurs.
that's going through here. And we can't learn a lesson. They want bigger, better. People are bored by dinosaurs, so they want more teeth. And that's the whole like plot of this film. Again, the story is not like super compelling and super like impressive, but it's a very entertaining action adventure.
It's not high art, but at the same time too, it follows all the basic structures of that first film, which I liked, which is like you get all these different characters, the park's running, you're testing these things out, you go on like this adventure with them, and of course it's inevitable that things go wrong, life finds a way. And we see that the Indominus Rex, you know, this thing is smart. They put too much attention to detail in this new product because it's like super smart. It's like faking people out, hiding. This thing freaking camouflages. I remember being in the theater for the first time, seeing that scene where they got like the SWAT team going at it, and it just comes out of the leaves. I was like, oh! I remember being like shocked by that, and then it just tears them all up, kills every last one of them.
That's like the big plot twist, right? They're like, what are they stuffing in this dinosaur? What do they cook up in that lab?
Yeah.
And that's like the mystery that we're held on to this whole movie of what is exactly in this dinosaur. And that was a pretty cool like reveal that it was part raptor. It was
part raptor,
which is
part-
before we get into that, like that's the coolest scene in this movie is the whole relationship and the franchise is this relationship between Chris Pratt, Owen with these raptors. Blue is like the star, you know, we're now no longer afraid of these raptors. They're like our frenemy, like where we can kind of like, you know, work with them. They're super intelligent. Pretty cool aspect, honestly.
Well, that's what they were. I remember there's a lot of like unused scripts after Jurassic Park 2 or 3 that the franchise was going to start going in that direction. There's even concept art.
They want to weaponize.
They wanted to weaponize the dinosaurs,
yeah.
put machine guns on them and stuff. Maybe even do like human dinosaur hybrids, which I don't want.
That would have been too much.
That's too much. Maybe down the line do that, but for what this is, like, I feel like this is a good middle installment to maybe get us there at one point. Because
I mean, they're smart enough. Yeah.
I feel like the Jurassic franchise does have a lot of potential for future things. It doesn't have to just be the park, rinse and repeat. Like, you can have it be like almost like Planet of the Apes, where you have like this original park idea in '93. They do it again in 2015 or whatever it was, and then now we see throughout Fallen Kingdom and Dominion, you can lead into. My idea is to have like a post-apocalyptic Planet of the Apes world where like humans are almost extinct and the dinosaurs are running the earth. I think that's where the future of the Jurassic franchise should go. I think that would be so sick, to be quite honest with you. But I do like that idea of Owen Grady, is that his name in the film? Owen Grady? Chris Pratt.
Exactly.
Star-Lord. I love that Star-Lord's training these things. He's using that clicker like, and then that's a cool premise that he's able to like train them and have a relationship, a bond with them. And we see that they're going to expand more on that in Dominion. But it is cool to see that he's able to talk to them, control them in a way.
That's the coolest part of this movie, is that, to me, is that sequence when they have to chase down the Indominus Rex that's on the loose, and the raptors, and he's riding with the motorcycle through the forest, and they're just like showcasing their speed, showcasing their intelligence. That was like I got the chills every time I see that scene.
It is pretty damn cool. And he even smiles. He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's badass, definitely.
I guess we're in the favorite scene territory, so that's yours. Mine is going to have to be, I love the big climax when you got the Indominus Rex versus the T-Rex with the raptors, and the Mosasaur comes and eats it. Like, it's such a spectacle to me. I remember having so much fun.
happening.
Yeah. I had so much fun seeing this in the theater that I went back like the next day.
It's almost
took
like
our little brothers.
the Marvel Avengers climax
Exactly,
like, oh, you got the Velociraptor.
You got them all. Yeah, everything's
You got
there.
the Indominus, you got the T-Rex, you got the Mosasaur, like it's like so many things happening.
Everything's firing. It was like a good climax to a very fun ride. And I it's so tough because there's a lot of good scenes in this movie. That's gonna be my favorite, but I also really appreciate the scene where they're in
The
that,
gyrosphere.
the gyrosphere with like Jimmy Fallon, like
Yes, yeah.
like it's so much fun to me.
The product placement,
and then when
yeah.
that thing is like attacking them in the gyrosphere, like it's pretty terrifying. The way it's like coming in, you can see its eye in the back and stuff, and it's like you're like, how are they gonna get out of this? So good suspense.
Yeah, like honestly, Colin Trevorrow, very well directed movie. Not a great written movie. Very well directed, very entertaining. A nice addition to the Jurassic World franchise.
I talked in our last review about Jurassic Park 3 how it was like a big step down from the first two, and how there's some more ups and downs in the Jurassic franchise. To me, this was a big step up. I remember everybody in the theater was like roaring at certain scenes, all the callbacks. It was fun, entertaining, a wild ride. It felt like almost like a roller coaster ride, or like we were at the park with these people. I love this movie. Final grade, Kevin, what are you giving this thing?
It's solid. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Only because the story is just nowhere as superior as the first two films.
Yeah.
But it is highly entertaining. Does what it needs to do. I love the whole park aspect. Like, I just eat that up. I eat that up.
I want to give it a 9, because I really do enjoy this movie a lot. It's a lot of fun every time I rewatch it, but even upon rewatches, you can tell the characters aren't as compelling as the first movie. They almost become cartoony. I'm going to give it an 8.5 as well.
Yeah. Of course, we can't do a Jurassic Park, Jurassic World review without the worst death. Go.
I'm torn between the employee that's like in charge of the Indominus Rex that's just like eating his lunch, like, oh, it was here a minute ago, and then him and Chris Pratt end up like having to run out of the cage with it, and then it finds him, it lifts the car that he was hiding behind, makes direct eye contact with Chris Pratt, gets eaten.
He knows he's donezo.
And then the other one too is the babysitter, right? Is
Yeah,
that yours?
that's mine.
That's
yeah.
yours, yeah.
The babysitter
that was rough.
is so innocent, you know, just trying to
Mad hot.
yeah, just trying to look after these kids. Gets her brains pecked out by the pterodactyl, and then freaking the mosasaur comes up and swallows her whole.
Yeah.
I just love in that scene, like with the pterodactyls being released, even the guy in this life-threatening situation is picking up his like frozen margaritas and running away.
Yes, yeah.
You know he's at a theme park. You know he dropped half a mortgage on these things.
Yeah. I remember laughing in the theater seeing that because he's at Margaritaville and he's just like it's like, yeah, that guy, life or death, going out on a good note.
I will not die sober.
Cheers, brother.
What did you guys think about Jurassic World? Let us know in the comments below. Anyways, that about wraps up today's episode of Twin Talk. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment below to join the discussion, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. We'll see you next time. Peace!